Hello, guys. Welcome to a quick episode of the Keto Pro podcast. Today, I'm joined again with Heather Foley and Ben Hunt. And today, we're going to discuss the incredible Keto Brain Health Conference, which is happening in a number of weeks on the 19th of October. Guys, welcome on board.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you both, too. Both looking well, obviously. That must be the keto and carnivore lifestyles, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
For sure. So look, let's talk keto brain health. Let's explain to the listeners a little bit about the conference and why you guys are looking forward to it and why this is going to be different to all of the other conferences that we've seen and been to this year.
Well, for starters, it's not an academic conference. It's not a scientific conference. You're not coming to hear about the latest papers that have been published and research. This is for the general public. And quite honestly, we've all been affected. We all are affected in some way by brain health, mental health issues. If you haven't suffered from anxiety and depression, dementia, ADHD, and all these things are on the rise, as we know, around the world. Autism, I mean, we could reel off a whole list. If you haven't already been directly affected by those things, then you can be pretty sure that you've got a loved one who has or who is, and all of us need to be able to arm ourselves with the knowledge so that we can look forward to the next however many decades of life and protect our brains, keep ourselves healthy over that time, because there's no question about it. The world is going through an absolute pandemic of mental health disorders. So we want to get the best thinkers that we can together, the people who can actually tell you the facts and put it in a way that is practical, that you can take away and apply immediately in your lives.
Yeah, which is fantastic. And that is something that I think is unique. As you say, the other conferences that, we've all been to recently, and I love the science, as you guys know, but I think, the way that we're going to present this, it is going to be super easy to understand. Anybody is going to be able to take this on board and make these actionable takeaways. This isn't, we've recently all spoken at the Carnivore Conference, for example. Carnivore is a niche within a niche, if you like. And there's a tag to the keto lifestyle. It almost seems a little cultish, or it seems like a fad lifestyle. But this is, in fact, the way that we've evolved our entire existence, isn't it? This is our natural metabolic state. It's the metabolic state that we're born in, and it's the metabolic state that we've evolved in our entire existence. And I think once we start to bring down those barriers and explain to people how the body works, how the body uses fats and ketones for energy, then it opens this whole host of doors that allow us to pull the levers to improve our health and well-being beyond anything that we could comprehend. I mean, it's been an absolute game changer for me. Finding this way of living has quite literally changed my life. And this is why I do what I do. When I began my journey, keto didn't exist. No one in the UK was talking about a keto lifestyle. No one knew what a ketone was. And if you said that to someone, they probably think it's some sort of disease. It's, yes, it was big in the States, but much of the information stateside I found in the early days was a lot of misinformation because we were still learning and understanding. But now, this is taking the world by storm, isn't it? We now have a much better understanding how ketones will fuel the brain, how it can help combat, as you say, these mental illnesses. I used to suffer severely with things like anxiety and depression. And I'm only human. These are human emotions. But when you understand what allows us to, what causes it, or some of the main causes at least, we can take a step back and implement changes that allow us to combat these things. I get sad, but I don't get depressed anymore. And when you were growing up, you were either happy or sad when you were in school. You were never depressed. And now it's like, I'm depressed. And these kids, they come up to you in the street, you listen to them talk, and I'm depressed today. And these are kids, you don't know what depression is. or maybe they do because of the lifestyle that they live in. But nobody's ever happy or sad anymore. And now I'm either happy and some days I'm sad, but I'm never depressed. And this is one of the major benefits that living the ketogenic lifestyle has given me, which I'm sure you guys can also attest to.
Can I make an important distinction as well before Heather jumps in? Because there is this idea, and I know I've heard people say it, I heard somebody say it at the PHC, that carnivore is like a subset of keto, right? I think it's very important actually to establish that you can be on a carnivore lifestyle and not in ketosis. It's not the same thing, and because Heather tests her ketones and glucose and stuff every day, but carnivore can be massively beneficial. It's great for healing the gut. It's great for putting in all the nutrients and the stuff that your body needs and as little as possible of what it doesn't need, right? So it's fantastic for all-round health. I don't know of anything better, but it's not the same thing as keto. You can be keto and vegetarian or omnivore or even plant-based if you want to. But the difference when it comes to the brain, what's important is being in a ketogenic state, which is not the same thing, because then, like you say, you're giving the brain its proper fuel, right? As well as the whole of the rest of the body. But you get I think Heather can probably say it better than me, but the key importance of actually being in ketosis, because if you can eat a ton of meat every day, doesn't necessarily mean you are actually in that state. It will for a lot of people, but not for everyone.
Yeah, spot on. And sorry, Heather, just before you jump into that, I mean, you've made a good point there that this isn't, you don't have to be a meat eater even to be ketogenic. You can be in a ketogenic state as a vegan, as a vegetarian, being in a ketogenic state, carnivore, so on and so forth. This is quite literally for anybody, isn't it? There's no pigeonholing in regards to diet or lifestyles. Anyone can be in a ketogenic state, and I think that's incredibly important. And you guys are catering also for all sorts of diets. Is that right?
Yep, we're covering ketogenic, vegan, keto, vegetarian, keto omnivore, and keto carnivore, because at the end of the day, like you said, it's more about helping people heal their brain and get to their best selves. So it's for everybody. And going back to why we started the conference, so it was a vision of mine that Ben pushed me to do, because I'm someone who does best on a ketogenic diet. And I've had 10 concussions and I've had 10 years of PTSD from 2002 to 2012. So I know how important the ketogenic diet is. And we have lots of conferences out there, academic conferences, to help the academics understand it, but we've none for the layperson. And for me, when I started in 2010, and that's 14 years of research to get to where I really, really know what I need to be doing for me. And I want to bring this to people now so that they understand that they don't have to do the kind of research I needed to do, because we're bringing the people that can give them such a big heads up, including yourself, about the power of the ketogenic diet. So for me, when I'm in ketosis, for me, sitting around 3 millimoles per liter, I feel fantastic. And the academics don't speak about that because they don't empathize with the average person who's had the traumatic brain injuries or the PTSD. So it's coming from a completely different angle. And I think there is a space for us in this in the UK, because there's nothing like this in the UK. So that's why we're bringing it to Manchester this year as our first ever conference.
Yeah, and what an incredible lineup of speakers.
Yeah. Well, I've obviously got yourself, Richard, talking about ketosis and addictions as well, and which is hugely important. I mean, how many of us can say, "Oh, I've never suffered from it. I've never been addicted to anything." We've got Zoe Harcombe, like you mentioned. So many great people will be out there slaying dragons. I mean, Zoe's really well known for telling the truth, the evidence-based truth about the National Dietary Guidelines, and she's going to be talking about the separating fat from fiction, and the vital importance of fat, because everyone out there is chasing low fat, whatever, high carbs, and just putting their brains at risk. We've got Dr. Rachel Brown, the UK's only metabolic psychiatrist, right? She's a consultant psychiatrist within the NHS who is going out there using ketogenic diet, using metabolic methods to get people off drugs. And doctors these days, they're told how to put people on drugs. They haven't got a clue. There's not even any kind of process for them to go to say, well, how many people have we got off drugs this year? Wouldn't that be a good target to reach? We've got Ivor Cummins, because very much like Zoe, biochemical engineer, done great work into the public response to COVID, but where he really made his name was in talking about statins. So he's going to blow the lid off the whole statins myth, and talking about is there a link between statin use and cognitive decline, things like Alzheimer's and stuff. And then finally, we've got Dr. Anthony Chaffee, friend of all of us, who will be giving the neurosurgery perspective. What does a healthy brain mean to the people who literally go into the brain and nervous system to fix issues? Plus, we've got panels of people who've turned around their own mental health with ketogenic diet, including you'll hear Heather's story, you'll hear Kira Jennings as well, who's gone from like 18 stone and completely food addicted down to like 8 stone. Remarkable story. So yeah, whether it's dementia and Alzheimer's, whether it's autism, depression, PTSD, all of these issues, I hope that everybody will come away from that day going, right, now not only am I better informed that I'm on the right track here, I'm confident that I now know how I can protect my own brain, my own mental health going forward, and my loved ones as well.
Yeah, and I think that's important. And something you guys mentioned during the live last night was the fact that, whether anyone listening to this already knows this information, and that's fantastic. Many of us know loved ones who we continue to pass this advice on to, excuse me, but they don't listen to us. Our family are the hardest people to try to get on to some. It's difficult when you know the answer to their problem, but they won't take it from you. But quite often, excuse me, they'll take it from someone else. So this is an opportunity for you to gift them a ticket, get them to the conference, get them to listen to these world-leading experts, get them to listen to the evidence, listen to the advice, listen to the stories. So if you don't want to come because you already know all this information, gift a loved one or a friend a ticket, because this, I believe, could quite literally change someone's life.
100%.
Absolutely. I didn't realize what it meant to actually be calm and not hyper reactive to everything, and to actually be that way now. And to be honest, if I eat dark chocolate, I go back to being hyper and stressed and all these things, which is a superfood, but clearly for me it's not. So I know what it's like firsthand, how powerful this way of eating is. And that's why I want people to understand the same as me and not have to do all the research I had to do.
Yeah, snap. I completely agree and attest to all of those things. I think we have fallen into every pitfall you can imagine. So, these people don't have to. We have made all of the mistakes you can think of, so now you don't need to. And that is the reason for these events. Come and skip all of the pitfalls. Don't make the same mistakes, you and I did. Listen to the advice, change your life, change the life of your loved ones and your friends and your family, so on and so forth. I can't wait.
But like you said yesterday on the call, it's getting to meet like-minded people that are on the same path as you, even if you're at the very beginning. Speaking to so many people that either are well into it or just beginning means that you're not on your own, and that's huge.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree. Guys, I'm super excited. I cannot wait. Again, this is on the 19th of October. Do you guys want to give a little bit about the location, times to arrive, and how to book, more importantly?
Yeah, it's at the Gorton Monastery in Manchester. So it's just south of Manchester city centre. Stunning location, old converted monastery. People are going to try and get there for 8 a.m. We're going to be starting promptly by 9 o'clock. There'll be a very interesting and delicious lunch provided. Obviously Manchester very accessible for practically everyone. So yeah, just come along. If you can get your tickets from the website, which is ketobrainhealth.co.uk. We'll put Rich's code as well with a link there. So the code is PRO, PRO, to get a discount off your ticket. It doesn't matter if it's capitals or not, but yeah, and we'll see you there.
Fantastic. Guys, I cannot wait. Look forward to seeing you both soon.
We also have an Instagram as well, at Keto Brain Health.
Perfect.
See you
Fantastic.
there.
Brilliant. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.